Welcome back to another episode of the Roots Podcast. I'm Max Moore, joined by my co-host Tyler Lingle, and today we're back with another boys only episode, kind of debriefing our learnings from Derek Christie. We just had him on the podcast last week. We just got done filming it, fresh in our minds. This guy owns the largest and oldest mortgage banker or lending institution in Indiana, which is kind of sick, like 30 plus years, and they've done $6.5 billion in loans. No small feat. I try to 10x him and say that he owns $65 billion in loans. He's got over $150 million in assets under management. We'll kind of dive into what that means and how you get there. For me, though, the foundational point and the biggest inspiration that I had was the high school hustle. How, as we go back into his story, I just keep getting this common trend. It's kind of my mom. She's a big advocate of the Roots Podcast. And she was talking about how everybody has this like hustle and grit that she sees in the entrepreneur that we have on the show in everybody. It's like we get to these grandiose stories of Rex owning 300 homes or Nick getting these 100 rentals from distance and having hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen from him. It's like to get there, everybody started by cleaning gutters or mowing grass or cleaning these bowling alley lanes, right? Yep. And picking up trash and going through the muck and being the person at the ground floor. And then these economies of scale, that illumination for me at 24, seeing that I feel like I'm still cleaning the shit. Mm-hmm. And there's like so much scale to
We're on like level 2 of 10, like a level 2.5 to 3.
Yeah,
you're not you're not doing the hourly wage job or whatever, right? But if that's level 0, no offense, but and Derek said it. He said the first 100,000 is the hardest.
It is.
All the Warren Buffetts and all of them say once you get 100,000, how much easier is it to parlay that into $1 million? Once you get $1 million, how much easier, right? And like we're still maybe we have the 100,000 actually, but we're still like we got the 100,000 and then we spend it. Right. Got the 100,000, then it's gone.
Right.
So I mean, actually, like as investment capital, right? 100,000 substantial to invest in capital when you're 25, 30, and these guys are just hustling.
Right. It's like you get the 100,000.
And he had
for me, just go buy a freaking residential real estate.
And I love what Derek said. It was not so much that he made. I don't know how much they made. I don't know. Clean. Maybe they made 250 in profit. I don't know what they were making back then in the 80s, but they were hustling. But I would think the big trajectory shift for him was when he sold that cleaning business and maybe had some meaningful capital, then went into his working career, working as a rung on the lower parts of the totem pole in the financial planning and then mortgage business. But yet he still had that inklings of entrepreneurship that once he shifted it into overdrive in the mortgage business, because of that cleaning background,
it opens up the door to leverage, right? Which then allows you to scale. Because when you're just starting out, like I can remember mowing my grandpa's lawn, and I would get done. I'd come in for payment, and he'd be like, "Go and inspect it. What is this guy doing? Just give me the money. I want to go home." Be like, "Oh, you didn't edge over there, or you didn't cut that weed. Go do it again." Like you have to do it perfect. You're gonna have to do it again. I feel like you have to have that foundation. That is why everybody does the high school hustle, because you're trying to please the one singular customer. But at level 10,
I have a confession. I don't believe I had a high school hustle. So I'm just gonna go cry in the corner. Yeah. Wow. AJ didn't either. No, I don't think you have to, but I think having a passion.
Well, no, that makes total sense.
I was very competitive with tennis,
but you didn't have
every summer played tennis. Worked hard at that.
Yeah, I think
does that count? I'm trying to get in there.
I swam full time and still
and you still cut the grass.
I think that it makes sense though, because you went and got a 4-year degree and went into a career.
Yeah,
and then there was an interjection later. Yeah, that you got plucked out, and essentially your hustle started in your first sweat equity, getting into that first home, which then sparked off, and then you.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm personally cut out the same as like a Derek Christie. I'm not nearly as money motivated as you or him, frankly. I think I'm always more like a teacher mindset. Like I genuinely got into it and was like, I just like meeting people for coffee and doing things with them. You know what I mean? And if I make the money, that's great too. I wouldn't say, not to say you're all money motivating. I know we're going 0 to 100 here, but like, I think that by I was sitting down with a buddy for coffee, and he was like, I've always thought you were more interested in education than making money. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, that's cool. So it's about building, right?
Right.
So like back in high school, I didn't really give a shit about making money. I just didn't.
That's
to
fair.
be honest.
No, when I hear that perspective, what I hear is that you're still able to educate, and you have a strategic partner that helps you make money from educating.
Yeah. The money is just the fuel, right? That like, I love making money just as much as the other guy, but I don't think about cash flow and spreadsheets that often, honestly.
Yeah. Some days I'm envious of that.
Right. That was an interesting turn for this mini episode, but I think really good. What I liked about that episode with Derek, which everyone needs to go learn from Derek. It's going to level up your mindsets, help you think and grow rich. Napoleon Hill book, he just embodies that, I feel like. But urgency, we went from him taking the calls as a mortgage broker junior to buying a $26 million retail center, which that eventually replaced like his W-2 type of income, like that type of move. Right. He wasn't probably W-2, 1099, but you know what I'm saying? So how he was able to build massive income to get to the place of buying massive assets was his urgency. And he said it's a borderline personality like defect, but I see a lot of these entrepreneurs have their wires crossed. Right. They're like, what is this? This guy has a problem. He's at the party, like on his phone, trying to patch this deal up or whatever it is, like he can't, wife's like, come on, he can't even sit still on vacation. Like he's got to go work out, then, write part of his book or whatever it is. It's like these guys he has that it factor, that urgency. And he just described how he would have not one phone, but 3 phones in his office because he didn't want a missed call.
Yeah.
A missed call was like his worst day at the office because someone was disappointed. I didn't get the answers I want. I didn't have Derek help me. So he would answer them and put them on hold.
It sounded like you just needed a secretary.
Yeah, the guy needed some scale massively early on, which he probably figured out and made it. But yeah.
I can just imagine. Hi, this is Derek, please hold. Derek, please hold.
It sounds like a logistical nightmare. And he did say he was scarred from it. So
I can imagine how many missed calls I have from being in this podcast studio for 3 hours. I maybe need to implement some more urgency.
Yeah. Okay. It made me disappointed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie when he said that because I was like, I was hoping he'd say, yeah, I just go away to a mountain retreat, think about life and think and grow rich. He was like, nope, I just took all the calls. I was like, dang.
Alex Mosley says, call the damn leads. You have to call them.
Call the damn leads, yeah.
Like, there's no business if you don't call the damn leads.
Right. I know these people trying to wholesale, and it's like they're sending 1 million MailChimps. Call the damn lead.
Right. You could
go sell
all day long.
Right.
And here's us like, no phone, get away from.
It's a balance, right?
Right.
And all of this is walking. I think entrepreneurship is a tightrope. Yeah. On one side, we have the hustle, grit, determination, drive, and on the other side, you have the boundaries, family, spirituality. So it's like, that's really what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
The tightrope there. Right.
No, it absolutely is. It's also about having to fix your first toilet and your first rental, which he's like, I hate fixing toilets. I'm not going to fix them because I was trying to understand how you go from zero to a $26 million portfolio of commercial products. Like, I don't know how to do that. That's what I was trying to get out of it.
I don't.
And as we backed off, we realized there were some properties along the way. There was a lot of loans sold along the way. There were toilets fixed to get there, but not many. He realized quickly. I think he probably fixed one rental toilet and was like, I'm done with this. I think he said he still owns that property, but
he does. Yeah.
It amazes me. It amazed me because what we normally hear is you have to have all the single family homes. You have to do that to get the duplex, to get the tri, to get the quad, to grab that 8 unit, the 16, the 32, all the way up. And he just kind of jumped straight into, I own this commercial asset, and then I'm diversified into this, diversified into that, and continued to diversify into a new niche, is what it sounded like. He owns like literally every subsector of real estate, I think. He sat there and laid it all out.
Right, he
Maybe
does.
Not like a Bitcoin farmer.
He said he's a paranoid investor.
Right.
And wants hands in every type of industry, just in case.
And then brings the scale in. I feel like for the person stuck though, for me, I'm kind of stuck. Like, I got these single families. Are they really doing anything for me? Like, Tyler's got Airbnbs. Maybe I want Airbnbs. Or like, is franchise
I'll sell you my
cash flow
Airbnb.
what it should be? Like, right. And you're like, I want out of the Airbnb.
No,
And
I like them, but
I can't tell what the next move is.
Sure.
So I feel like this podcast is what I'm trying to arrive at.
Yeah.
And I keep just being told back to, I need your money to go invest.
Yeah.
So come on, let's go buy something.
yeah.
As in your money, not your money.
I think it is getting to those larger zeros and using other people's money and getting the thing where you don't have to make not that you don't have to replace the toilet, but that you don't have to make the call to replace the toilet, which it might be you need to wait and keep building roots.
Right.
To get there. Right. I think that is this commercial strip center or whatever. It's like, yeah, you and our listeners will have those opportunities. If you don't skip over the first big wave, Alex Hormozi's always like, this is my favorite quote from last year that I heard from someone. He says, ride the first big wave. When you ride all these small waves, I'm going to be Airbnb, and then I'm going to be a real estate agent, and then I'm going to try to do private money lending. I'm basically describing myself. Guess what? You don't go anywhere. So I'm like, roots, this podcast, go deep, right? Be a phenomenal, the best real estate agent I possibly can be, at scale, right? Same for you with our team. So I think that's what I would encourage you is stay the course, because he stayed the course. I don't think he bought that retail center at your age, by the way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last time I checked, he wasn't trying to get a $20 million loan with that portfolio of two single-family homes.
Right.
I'm sure he had some significant other investments that we didn't hear about between then.
That's very fair. Building the business, building what's good. So that's like the third time now that I've been told to sell the damn single family homes.
I don't think you should sell the damn single family homes though. Just like make them as quiet as possible so they don't bother.
Right.
Because let's be honest, like that mortgage will kick off some point and you'll be happy you own those assets.
Right.
Right.
Pretty quiet.
Right. Like I'm not over here saying sell all your residential. By the way, I have residential deals that I've just recently acquired that I really want to hold for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
duplex.
Yeah. So it's like the right investment that is doing the right purpose you hold. If it's negative cash flow and the equity's not growing, sell the damn thing. Yeah. Right. I agree with that. You got to monitor how it's doing.
Yeah.
Right. But the biggest investment that we keep going back to on this podcast is yourself, right? It's like that's
becomes personal.
So if a rental is taken away from you being able to invest in yourself,
yeah,
that's when I definitely know you need to. If it's just like stress, time, toilet runs, okay, yeah, is this actually helping me invest in myself, or is this investing in itself?
Yeah, that's very fair.
I'm going to be honest. Like, that's what I have to think about.
Right.
Right.
What is Tad Miller with Millhouse?
Yeah.
We're going to have him on the podcast soon.
Yeah.
And you asked him about single family rentals. And
we're going to go right recently,
there. And he goes,
he torched
sell them. Why the hell do you own them? And it's because that is a guy that owns 40,000 units, right?
Right.
He could not.
He builds apartments. He builds commercial property.
Develops them.
He's a developer.
You can't do that you can't build that many homes. Yeah. Right. And that's like his perspective.
He was just like, if you want to make millions of dollars, which was his vantage point.
Right.
You need scale.
This is your whole career and life. What we're talking about and what we share on this podcast is building wealth and planting roots and betting on an area, which is keeping those single families quiet. If you own 10 rentals, that's your IRA.
Yeah.
Like it's better than your IRA.
Well,
through and through.
The reality is that less than 1% of the population is going to do what Tad did. So, I mean,
yeah,
like
just Tad is going to do what Tad did.
The other 99% would benefit from a rental property.
Right. Okay. So now we're buying single families.
If you want to be the 1% Tad, burn your single families down, go hire a team and go, put some deals together. You may just end up bankrupt very quickly though, if you do that. So it's just risk reward, right?
Which I think is the syndication piece of Derek's episode that like is that scale is just nuts. that he's been able to do. One, Grant Cardone's it's good clickbait, right?
Is it though? I think it's not that hard to get there. It's a product of the brand he's created, the network he's built, and the track record he's had. I think it's like,
well, I think in his
you and I know people we could call up to get into deals.
Yeah.
And he's just doing that.
Right.
It's not actually that the nuts and bolts of syndications. It's like you put in money, you get out money. Understanding the P&L of what the property makes is, there's some technical understanding of how much repair and maintenance costs, was the amortization alone. But like once you understand the basics, it's a relational game.
Mm.
And I think he's actually he does seem to know finance well. I mean, he's been in lending, but I think he actually is a master of the relational game.
Interesting.
And that's where he's deriving most of his wealth. Like he got his first 100K from urgency, and now he's getting his last 50 million or whatever it is from the relational wealth is what I would deduce.
Yeah. No, I think that's huge. I think for the everyday investor, syndication is extremely hard to jump into, right? It always all starts right back with that one precious single family. You got to buy 123 Main Street to be invested in, Salesforce Tower or whatever the huge syndication is. The big apartment complex, right? We all drive by them and we're like, who owns that? Like, how does somebody own that? Or you're a renter and you're living in the apartment complex and you're like, how does somebody own this entire thing? It's not one person. It's through a huge syndication.
He wouldn't have been the person he was if he didn't buy his first home, invest in the single family rental, do the cleaning business.
Yep.
And then he's built a reputation to where his commercial gives him a buzz.
Yeah.
I got a deal. Right? That's it. It's just like the guy thought, who should I give a buzz? Just the same way with us.
Yep.
We get a deal. Who do we give a buzz?
Right.
Not the douchebag that can't perform, that wants to crunch numbers and fiddle and then never close on it.
Right.
Like it's just
it's urgency in the beginning, and it's cutting Miss Pierce's lawn for $15 when gas costs $15 and getting it perfect and starting there from the ground up and being grassroots, baby. That's it. That's all it is. Well, this mini episode turned into a massively long episode, but clearly Derek just he spewed a lot of knowledge on us. I think it's massively beneficial to go listen to his episode.
A lot of massives.
Right.
Yeah. You're a massive listener, and make sure to get on our newsletter. Absolutely. If you want deals, market insights, the actual nuts and bolts of how to take action, and come to our next masterclass.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis, rootsrealty.co.
Peace.